It's not often that I do get to go out, but I went out Friday. And I had me a cocktail before I went in, so I was right, Cliff.
Before you went in?
Yeah, I mean, before I went into the theater.
Thought you, like, you
right in the lobby
bottle.
area, they had a bar.
Yeah.
Fox, just like the clubs. Don't make no sense. A glass. By the way, y'all, the other voice that you hear is relationship expert and author Jack Daniels. He's a part of Relationship Mondays, and we're going to talk about relationships here on the show. But, you know, as I stated when I started talking, you know, that was what was going on for the weekend. How you spend yours, Jack?
I spent my weekend working. So the whole, you know, Fela and all of that, I missed it.
Really?
I totally missed it. I had a huge launch this past week. For,
I saw the
it was for Made Attraction, and a lot of emails, a lot of questions, a lot of phone calls, and solidifying like all of these things that we're going to be doing, because I had a huge 3-day retreat coming up, as well as an online course that's starting in April. So it was huge.
Give us some background on it.
Well, Made Attraction is simply a project that's allowing people to understand that they should stop chasing and start attracting the love that they desire and deserve. And it's a process that really underscores what it takes to do that, because there's certain things and techniques that you can basically put out into the world and the energy that you have to be able to attract what it is that you want. So I'm trying to give people some insight as to what that looks like. I'm trying to give people some awareness of, you know, you don't have to go through your entire life or whatever time you call yourself spending alone. You know, you don't have to come home to an empty house and a couple of cats. You don't have to think that you're too old or you're overweight or God has forgotten about you or any of those things that have kept you up late at nights. It's simply a process of understanding that you can attract whatever it is that you want into your life. And I'm teaching people how to do just that. It's the same way I've taught hundreds of others to do the exact same thing. So I'm excited about it. It's
now, because I had something that I wanted to discuss, but now we're into this and we can go to that as well. On yesterday, I was being interviewed by Rolling Out Magazine about passion and poetry.
Yeah.
And one question that they asked me about was, passion and poetry is about 14 years old, 27 shows in.
Yeah.
And since from day one.
Awesome record, by the way.
Thank
Congratulations.
You. I told you what I've had to say, but take it all.
Just take it all.
I got a lot of it here. Just take it all. Just to get it done. But one of the questions that they asked me about was how the poetry scene was one time just really on fire.
Yeah. And
then it dwindled down to, you know, not having the same amount of interest that it once was. And right. I have to credit myself a little on bringing that to the forefront, because I had the medium when I was on the radio to do that.
Yeah.
Well, and so I talked about what I felt had happened.
Oh, I'm scared of this. I'm scared where this is going.
I talked about what I felt had happened in the process. Too many people who thought they couldn't. And so when you went to go and see get a night of spoken word or open mic or something to the case, you walked in and the presentation was toe up. Then the poets was, you know, I mean, the poetry was like, you know, Cat in the Hat, Roses Red, and you're like, wait a minute, is this what this scene is becoming? Yeah. Because too many people who were given opportunity jumped on the opportunity without putting the time and the effort and the money behind it. Do you see that happening in the relationship world as well?
Not only in the relationship world, I see it happening in our world, in our society, in our culture, period.
Just sickening, isn't it?
Because when you talk about...
Y'all gonna make me say some words on Monday morning.
That's okay. It's okay.
I mean, I'm damn tired of it. Excuse me, but I'm damn tired of it.
And I think it's time that people are tired of it, because I don't think people are frustrated and angry enough about how we love to have instant gratification, and how people, I was watching TD Jakes actually yesterday, and he was talking about the verge, people being on the verge and having the inability to be able to have an infrastructure of something. So when you take it a little bit further and talk about building a house, and when you build a house, it has to have a foundation. You got to dig the hole and pour the cement, and then that's the foundation. But so many times we have people that they don't even like building houses anymore.
Oh, no.
They just like prefabricated houses. Why? Because they want to hurry up, they want to get in, they want to get whatever it is. And when you're talking about jobs, I know we were talking earlier, there's so many people that just want to go straight to the top.
Right on, and don't want to put the work and the effort.
They don't want to put the work, they don't want to put the effort, they don't want to put the energy, the time, all of these different things that relate to what it takes to have success and longevity in that success, because it's instant success. I was looking at somebody else, one of my clients, that had instant success. They happen to be a YouTube phenomenon. You know, that happens a lot, right? But when you get there to the top and everyone's looking at you, all eyes are on you, and you don't have anything to sustain you,
right,
that's underneath, because there's no core, there's no foundation.
You're going to come back down.
And you're going to come back. And it's the same thing with relationships.
Yeah.
So relationships, everybody wants what everyone else has. You ever wonder why, the married people look so attractive to single people? Because they got what we want. And they got everything that we want without having to do the work. I don't have to build her up. I don't have to build him up. He's already ready. So I'd rather have him, because I'd rather deal with him versus Leroy, because Leroy don't have a clue as to where he's supposed to be, what he wants, what he needs, what he requires. But at least this married person has a better idea. So maybe if I can ease my way in a little bit, maybe he'll like me the way that I want him to like me and love me in a committed, happy, healthy, whole relationship. And that's not the only reasons that people go after married people.
Well, it leads me to what I wanted to talk to you about today is relationship recovery. It's recovering from mess, something that you've gone through.
You couldn't even find the word. You just like mess.
It's relationship stuff, that people have gone through and haven't been able to recover from it, so they can move on in their lives. Yeah. So we're going to talk about relationship recovery with Jack Daniels, and I do have tickets. I'm going to start giving away tickets to Passion and Poetry. You still coming?
I'm terrified. I gotta tell you. Because I told somebody I was going to be.
You on my flyer.
I know.
Right?
I tell you, and that's what terrifies me. I said, I've spoken to millions of people, but getting on a stage and saying a poem or poetry, I said, I'm a little nervous. I don't know what it is.
Well, you got 12 more days.
I know. I said, wow, I'm really going to be on stage saying some poetry, but I'm ready. Trust me, I'm ready. I'm a poetry virgin.
Right.
Yeah.
We like virgins.
And y'all about to pop my cherry.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Okay, wait.
Ain't that like a cherry pop? That go clip.
Man, just put your ball of jet, you'll be all right.
But I'm ready though.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be fantastic, and everybody should come out to Passion and Poetry.
Passion and Poetry, March 16th, Center Stage, 8 o'clock show. Tickets on sale. Ticketmaster, and if you log on to FM Digital Live, the Facebook page, or Joyce Littel Facebook page, you can see the ticket outlets. So, I'm talking about credit, stop. In relationship recovery, what is the first step that we need to do to recover from a relationship?
The first step is like you always hear. Acknowledge that there was a problem. And there's so many of us that have these denials of that, I was even in a bad predicament. I was even in a bad relationship, or sometimes you deny that you were even in a relationship. So it's like a slippery slope. If you can think of, an upside down mountain going in and out, and you have like 5 different stages that you're going to go through. And it's sort of like the grief stages that you go through when you lose someone. So there's the denial, there's the blaming, where you're gonna blame everything on the other person, like it was their fault. I can't believe that
you died
they
on
did.
me.
Right. That you did all of these bad things to me, and but you never accept ownership of that.
Right.
Then sometimes you even go through the depression stage. And the depression stage is when you're at that low and that abyss that says, okay, life isn't going to get better. And then you get into an exploration phase where you start going through some stuff where you're just exploring different people, different things, and maybe you're traveling, maybe you're doing, and then you go into an acceptance stage. So the first stage is like we just said, is denial. And you got to get out of that fact that you have been hurt, or you did have a bad relationship. Accept that and own it. And the level of accountability is so it goes back to that instant gratification that we were talking about. I want to be healed just like that. I want to be over it just like that. But
because it wasn't my fault.
It wasn't my fault. I didn't do it. It was him.
Especially if you're talking to somebody you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, never. I mean, whenever you have like a bad relationship or a breakup, it's like, I mean, that person is just, he's this, he's that, she's this, she's this, but you never take the ownership of, this is what I did. Here's what I did and I didn't do in this relationship. And that's the first phase of it, is accepting what that relationship was. So I actually have 3 different phases. So I say people are single because they're either hurting, healing, or hoping. Hurting, healing, or hoping. You're hurting because something happened, whether you were cheated, mistreated, beat, betrayed, something to the effect that happened, and you're not in that relationship anymore because something happened. And the fact is that you have to acknowledge the hurt, acknowledge the fact that something did occur or transpire to get you to this phase of, I got to acknowledge the fact that I'm hurting. And
because that's what I was going to ask you about, identifying this emotion that you have.
Yes.
And if the emotion is hurt, then you have to identify with that.
Right. You identify it and then deal with it. It's not just yeah, I know.
No,
a lot of people don't want to deal.
Now, I identify with it, but don't be asking me to.
No, you got to deal with it. And in Mate Attraction, I take you through that process of identifying and recognizing where you are in the process. Because once you identify the hurt, you then have to do the work necessary to heal. Now, there are a lot of people in terms of healing that they don't like to heal. They don't like to think of themselves as healing. And there are a lot of people that are walking around with bullet wounds, and they're putting Band-Aids over those bullet wounds. And you can't, if you get shot.
Because it's easier. It's easier to say I'm the way that I am because I'm hurting, rather than fixing yourself.
Yeah, and if you stay in that cycle, you'll continuously repeat that cycle over and over and over again. And I know you heard the phrase hurt people, but when you get into a relationship and you haven't dealt with the healing, think about it like this. You get shot. Somebody took out a gun and they shot you. And, instead of going to the hospital, instead of fixing the wound, digging the bullet out, putting the dressing on it, getting antibiotics, you simply put a Band-Aid on it and say, I'm just going to walk around with this Band-Aid over this bullet wound. Well, in the process, you haven't stopped the bleeding. I mean, it's going to continuously bleed. It's going to continuously get infected. And as soon as you pull that Band-Aid off, people are going to recognize that that's a bullet wound. You need to take that. Your arm is going to fall off. You kidding me? So you have to deal with the fact that you've been shot and treat the wound properly. Because if you don't, you'll constantly be picking at it like a scab. And when you think about a scab, when, something you think that is healed, and then you pick at it like a scab, and it reopens the wound back up. I know it's nasty.
It is.
It is. But that's the way it is, though. You think about your relationships or some things that have hurt you, you pick at them like a scab. And what I mean by that is, there's going to be, if it hasn't fully healed or you haven't fully healed, there's going to be somebody that's going to come along and trigger something. They're going to say something, or they're going to do something that reminds you of what had happened was. And all of a sudden you're going to go back to that place, and you're going to remember, and then you're going to pick at that scab, and the wound is going to be open back up. So allow yourself an opportunity to heal.
Now, you had a question.
I was going to ask, so is it true that you should take the what people call the halftime? If you've been with someone for a year, it takes you 6 months to heal. Or you've been with them 2 years, you give yourself a year to heal. Is that?
Yeah, I would recommend that. because I think what happens is we don't have enough time alone. It's so many of us that are afraid.
Because we don't like to be alone.
We don't like to be alone.
Me, everybody leave.
Only child right here.
And I'm the youngest of 6, so I'm used to people. But I can be by myself any time of the day.
Yeah.
2-3 days.
But
Don't bother me at all.
But it's some people that are just really uncomfortable. Whether it's your girlfriend telling you that, you know, you need to be with someone, whether it's going out and the pressure of everybody else being in a relationship, she's having a baby or she's getting married. It's just so many pressures that tell you that you're not supposed to be alone. You turn on television, everybody's happy. They're walking on the beach, they're taking a vacation, they're kissing, they're making out, all these different things, and it just keeps you in this constant state of depression that says
because it's not happening.
It's not
to me.
happening for me. Why is it not happening? So what do? You run out and you try to get into something that you really shouldn't be getting into because you're not even fully healed yet.
Right. I remember when I first moved back to Atlanta, and I hated Fridays because you knew everybody was gonna go on a date but you.
Oh.
I was like, let it be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday, because I could go to church. But do not have Friday and Saturday, because I knew that you were seeing people dating,
Yeah.
and that bothered me for a minute.
It bothers a lot of people.
And I was like, God, why do we have to deal with Friday? Because I was going home.
Right.
And I think that's where I started being okay, you know. But it probably started these gray hair in my head. Probably what started it. Because I couldn't, I'm not joking. I could not stand the weekend. Because I wasn't dating.
But that's understandable though, because there's so many people that are just like you. They're sitting at home.
Not anymore.
Well, not, I mean, not, you know, I'm saying back back then when you were. Of course not. Now you got like 27 years?
26.
26 years in. So that's like utopia for a lot of people. You know, like a lot of people aren't even 26 years old yet. So, but when you think about that, the same things are occurring right now. There's somebody that's sitting there, somebody that dreads going home after work because they realize that they don't have anything to do. And when you're talking about mate attraction, I'm telling people that there's a way that you can attract something better into your life so that you can have something to do. But if you keep doing the same things over and over, keep being with the same people, the same places, you're going to get the same results.
There's to texter, Steven says, I hate being alone. How do you conquer that?
Go do something. and I don't mean like just something frivolous, because the most attractive people in the world are the most passionate people in the world. You ever seen somebody operating in their passion? I'll tell you, Clips, you ever seen a woman that's, you know, you pulling up on side, you at stoplight in your car, and you see this woman who running. And she's running, and you know she's got her pants on, her shoes on, hair's bouncing, and she's just headphones, all that. She looks good. She's just flowing.
Yeah.
And you know why that's attracted to a man? Because she just looks like she's passionate. She looks like she loves what she's doing. She looks healthy. She looks, you know, I hate to say it, but in the terms of science, she looks fertile. She looks vibrant. Hold
on. How does somebody look fertile?
I know, right?
That's interesting.
Fit means fertile.
She she'll get it.
Yeah.
Fit means fertile.
Effable.
Yeah. She like she has some good babies.
I got it.
Yeah. But as a man, that's
so
like
all that goes through your head in an instant.
You know, subconsciously, yes.
Yeah.
But you know, from the outside, visually looking, she just looks like someone that's enjoying life.
Right.
And when you're enjoying life in that moment, it attracts other people to you because it's just one of those things in terms of sending that type of energy out. So if you're sitting at home and you're alone, go do something. There's so many things that you can do on a Friday or Saturday night that you just been sitting inside of your own box.
Yeah.
And hoping that things will get better, hoping that things will, you know, get to another side. But I challenge you to do something that you never done before.
But when people allow a handicap to handicap them, then I think that has a lot to do with your
Very true.
your loneliness or the mere fact that you're saying that you hate being alone is
Yes.
because you might not be in a position to make some quick dramatic moves.
Yeah, but my specialty is helping people get unstuck. That's what I do for a living. As a therapist, that's what I do. I help you move out of that realm of just mediocrity and doing the exact same. I was talking to a client Saturday because I was working while you were out failing.
That was Friday. Saturday.
Failing. You was
Saturday.
failing, you know. I was talking to a client Saturday, and we were talking about how to move forward, because sometimes you just get so stuck in this stuck story that you have, that you've been telling yourself over and over and over, and it's that lie of your life that keeps you stuck. So for the guy that was just talking about, you know, I'm alone and I don't really have anything to do, that's the lie. The lie is, you open up the paper or you open up social media, Facebook, Twitter, everybody's doing something. Why can't you go be a part of that? All of your friends, all of your relatives, somebody's doing something. Go help a family member. When you go do something different and expose yourself to other opportunities, it distinguishes you from that stuck story.
Yeah, and he says on here, I love people. Go be with people.
Get out there.
I mean, it's so many, you know, church services on a Friday or Saturday night. It just go to different things. Restaurant. Listen, for a guy to say, I'm alone and he can't find anything that is going on a Friday, Saturday night, the best thing you can do in Atlanta, I don't know where he is, but the best thing you can do in Atlanta is go to a restaurant. I mean, because for whatever reason, I've been trying to get these women out of this system of going to these restaurants in packs of like 12. Which, ladies, you'll never find a man in a pack of 12.
Hold on, say it again.
You'll never find a man in big groups and packs of. So
Unless you're celebrating somebody's birthday.
No, not even when you celebrate somebody's birthday.
No.
Let me
But
talk to the ladies.
if you're celebrating somebody's birthday, you with a group.
Hold on, he gonna explain it. Hold on.
Let me talk to the ladies real quick. You will never stop going out in these big groups. You know how men travel in 1s, 2s, and 3 at the most. You know why that is? Because we know the only thing we really need is a wingman. And for us to be able to approach you in that group, for us to be able to approach you in that group of 4, 5, 6 women, it takes a lot of courage. And it takes a lot of courage. Why? Because it's not the rejection. It's simply that we have the chance of choosing wrong. And here's what that looks like. It looks like we go up to the table, we see somebody, we eyeing them, we get making eye contact with them, we come up to them, and all of a sudden we looking, and we go up to them and we say, hey, how you doing? And all of a sudden she's talking to you, you're talking back at her, everybody around the table's looking, and you chose the wrong girl.
Because Love My Life said we are looking at the same man too.
You chose,
But he chose the wrong one.
you chose the wrong girl, and because you chose the wrong girl, there's no woman at that table that's gonna want to be sloppy seconds.
Even if
Yeah.
she wants to give it to you right there.
For
Yeah,
real.
like Love My Life said, we're looking at you. We're saying, oh.
Yep.
But if he goes to her,
If he goes to her girlfriend, it's
That's a
over.
wrap.
It's over.
And I completely agree with him, because I've been in that situation where I'm at the table, I'm like, damn.
Right.
I'm looking at this one right here, but I'm a peripheral. I said, this the one I should have talked to. she's paying attention to what I'm saying. And now they're all going to hate because I tried to get this one right here.
You
So
chose the wrong one.
I chose the wrong one.
I chose the wrong, and that for us is frustrating.
But that can happen with two.
No, I mean, no, not necessarily. If 2 is better than 4,
Yeah.
or
The
5
lower
or
number
6,
is always better.
yeah, I mean,
Always.
because you can always say, oh, you can always hold a conversation with
Right,
2.
right.
I mean, but with like,
Miss Manners said, why you don't speak to everyone?
great. I speak to everyone, but it's one person that I'm
That
really
you
trying
want
to
to
make
meet.
a connection with.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is the one that had the eye contact with. So I might speak to everyone, but I'm trying to vibe with this one. And if I'm trying to vibe with this one that is the wrong one, now I'm in a dilemma. So what am I supposed to do?
Because now you're ostracized.
Yeah. He's like, get out of here.
That's right. You're a bum. None of us want to get with you.
She's engaged.
That's right. Right.
That's why we out
She's been with her-
celebrating her.
Yeah, she's been with her boyfriend for 8 months. Me, I've been single for 2 years. This is the first time I've been out. But I didn't know that. So, but when women travel in groups of 2 and 3, it's a little bit easier for us to approach. I promise you. And if you travel alone, ladies, I promise you, you'll get hit on more than ever. More than any times you've ever gone out. If you travel by yourself, I promise you, you'll get hit on.
You know what? I can relate to that because I have gone places years ago, y'all. I have gone places because I don't have a problem being with me. I pretty much be with me a lot. But, and I've gone to bars, like the bar right next to the Fox. You go and you sit there, you sit on the corner, you grab a drink, and conversations was engaging on both sides.
Absolutely.
And next thing I know, it was just a whole bunch of us just chatting. You know what I'm saying? And so after I have done that over in my life a lot and have had the absolute most fun by being by myself.
Tell these women that again.
I have had the absolute most fun by being by myself.
And that's what mate attraction is. It's going to teach you some of those rules of engagement.
Like Love My Life says, I agree. I don't have a problem hanging out by myself. I don't have a problem whatsoever.
Now let me say this with caution, because all fellas know. Now, hanging out by yourself is not a guarantee.
Right.
Because it's some weird chicks out there. So
don't be weird, Love My Life. Don't be weird.
You see them and you like, I see why you by yourself.
That's right. I see problems.
Miss Manners says, is there really a formula? I travel light. Is there a formula?
Absolutely. With mate attraction, it's actually 9 modules that we go through. It's 9 modules that are going to teach you some of the successes of relationships. I've counseled and coached hundreds of people, and with these modules, whether it's clarity, your core competencies, your ability to be able to have courage, your challenges, your chances, your choices, all of these different things that basically align you a little bit better and help you understand what it takes to better understand yourself, number one, and then for someone to be able to project yourself a little bit better to who it is out there that's actually searching for you. And that's what mate attraction does. And I teach you that whether it's going to be through the 4-week online course or the live 3-day retreat that so many people have already signed up for. That's going to be in June in Atlanta, actually.
Can I come?
No, I think you already have a mate.
I just want to come.
I don't think your husband would really like that.
I just want to come see it.
You can come see. You know, it's going to be so many. It's going to be a lot of energy, and we're having a lot of people come in, and we're gonna really get to the core of what's going on with you, because I just
But do you see more women coming? Because that's what I see. I see a lot of just women, and it need to be a balance of both.
I think from what I've seen in terms of the registrations, I've seen a balance of both. Because
so men just tired too.
It's a lot of, I did the tour last year. I Need a Wife tour.
Right.
And we did 10 cities, 14,000 people, and it was guys that were saying, I'm single, successful, ready to be married, but I can't find a quality woman. So there are a lot of guys that are just really spent on terms of I'm either too tired or I'm too broke, and I'm tired of doing this whole dating thing, and it's really not working out for me. I'm ready to get the one and settle down and be in that relationship that's going to make me happy and whole.
Here's a question. Hurt feeling in a relationship, tired of the pain and head games in a relationship when it usually ends in disappointment. What does a person do?
Try again. Because
but shouldn't that now goes back to the relationship recovery?
Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying try now. If you've been hurt and it's something that you've been disappointed about, it's only because you've attracted the wrong type of people. Because for that type of person, which I've seen several over the years, they have this idea that I keep attracting the same person over and over and over again, and it's not the same person that you're dating. The same person that you're dating is not the common denominator. The common denominator is you. because there's some things that you've been attracting and some things that you've been doing and bringing into that relationship. You see clips like nodding, like, man. But you got to realize, you got to realize that it's some things that you've been doing that haven't been allowing you to project who it is that you really are to the fullest.
So then how far back in your life does that go in you becoming that kind of a person?
It depends on the person. Mm-hmm. Now, most people shape their entire lives. Listen to this. Very true statement.
I'm on you.
I know.
Give it to me.
Most people's lives are shaped in between the ages of 4 and 11. So you have a 7-year time span that shapes the entire story of your life. Something happened to you in that time span that says, this is the person that I am. Whether you were encouraged, whether you were rejected, whether you were, downplayed or lifted up, something to that effect affected you and how your outlook on life actually is. So if you think back to when you were in the 4th grade, my 4th grade teacher, one of the few teachers that I actually remember, her name was Miss Lincoln. Mm-hmm. Big woman. Taught from her desk. She didn't move. She didn't use the chalkboard, anything, nothing. She taught from her desk and sat there and dared you to say anything. But she also encouraged you to learn. Mm-hmm. And when you think about some instances that happened with your friends, your family, your school and peers and all of those different types of things, there's something that shaped you and a key decision that you made back in that time span that shaped your life. And you've been living that exact same decision and story your entire life. Whether it's somebody, some people have that stuck story of, I never be anything because I was always the neglected child. I was always the black sheep of the family. I was always the person who, maybe I was molested. Maybe, I didn't make good grades or something to that effect. But it's up to you to be able to shift that story, which you can, and rewrite the script to have something new formulated into your life, and then be able to become that person that you wrote the new script for. And I teach people how to change those scripts of their lives and get unstuck from whatever that stuck story that they keep telling themselves.
Because they'll forever face, in this case for the person who asked the question, they'll forever face disappointment until they understand where it all evolved within themselves.
And don't, and here's the thing, black people, don't get scared of this whole therapy thing. And I'm not saying that it all stems from your childhood. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it all stems from your current positioning of your mind. And you have to have a mind shift if you really want to propel yourself to a new direction and a new level. And the only way to have a mind shift sometimes is to dive deep into what's going on in your mind.
Well, we don't want to see that.
I know. And
we want to go drink and smoke pot and
but you know what? All
and
of those
raise
things,
hell. We want to come home and raise hell rather than
all
dealing
of those
with
things are simply numbing the fact that you're dealing with life. It's numbing everything that you're going. I mean, everybody wants to get away. They want to get high. They want to, you ever realize how men play a lot of video games? You ever wonder why?
Why?
The psychology behind video games and why it's so popular is simple. I mean, if you think about it, the actual statistics say that before a boy reaches the age of 18, he would have played 10,000 hours worth of video games. In addition to that, he would also have watched about 10,000 hours of porn. Now, you talk about, you take and you put those two things together and you add them up to see what that has. If you have a video game console, it's a box, and you play the video game with what? What's it called? What's it called, Clips?
A joystick?
Joystick. What else is it called? Controller. Okay. And you think about a video game and everything that has it has in it. A video game has the characters that are, in this world that I've created and I control. And if it messes up, if it goes wrong, if it goes bad, I can immediately do what, Cliff?
Start it over.
Start over. Reset.
Reset. New game.
And there's so many things that are out of the control of men in our lives because we really just want to have that ability to be able to say, I just want to reset and start over. But with the video game, I can do that every single day. And that's why the psychology of it says that I can play the hero, I can play God, I can play the omnipotent, and the control, and have the control that I lack in my life sometimes because I just don't know how to do some of the things that I really want to do. And I'll tell you that stress goes away when you actually make a decision. And there's so many of us that are holding on to a lot of things in our minds that we really want to do, but we haven't done because we haven't made a decision about it. So video games are nothing more than numbing ourselves from the reality of what it is that we really want to do also.
Are you holding your hand up?
Yeah, because I mean, I understand what you're saying. I just like video games. I am a PlayStation 3, Xbox fool. I love them. NBA 2K, all that. But I don't have anything that I'm numbing. It's just, that is my peaceful time. Like when I get through running around during the day,
Yeah.
I sit down and I play a couple of games and I go to sleep. That's my unwind.
I know, but numbing is an unwind thing. It's like it's actually the nothing time in your mind. It's like, you know what? I don't have to worry about anything else except what I'm doing right here, right now. That's it. And that's the same thing when somebody's smoking a joint or having a couple of fifths, or having sex, because sexual paralysis is another way of doing it, or womanizing, or flirting, or being on social media. It's just, or watching TV, just zoning out on TV. It's the same exact thing.
Do you think social media have helped or hurt relationships?
It's hurt. It hurts.
Thank you.
It hurts.
Okay.
It hurts.
I thought I was the only one.
No, it hurts.
It is hurting. And because a lot of people are putting stuff out there that they are not living.
I'm gonna tell you exactly why it hurts.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you exactly why it hurts. When I was younger, you were younger, I think all of us were younger. In order for me to get the attention of a young lady, I had to write her phone number down on a piece of paper, and I had to call. And when I called, I could probably get through because maybe it was a busy signal, and her mom, or if I did call, her mom would click over and say, "I'm on the phone. You can't talk to her right now." So I get a little bit of time to talk to her. And all the time that I was thinking about that I really wanted to talk to her, I was imagining what she looked like. I was imagining what she was doing. And I was utilizing my imagination versus actually going to her Facebook page and seeing everything that she encompasses. I could see her family, her friends, and I could see
what she gets mad
what
at.
she gets mad at, how she addresses things. I know everything about her because men are visual. And listen, Facebook was the greatest creation for man. I'm gonna tell you, and women may think it was for them. It was for us. Men are voyeurs. We love watching and looking. And the thing about Facebook or any type of social media is that I can see you from afar without even having to make a decision.
And then we have a caller on. Hello, this is the Joyce Littel Show. Who's this? Hello? You there? One thing.
I'm here.
Hello?
Yeah, she said she told her not to listen to the computer, listen to the phone.
Don't listen to the computer. Listen to your phone.
Okay.
Okay?
Go ahead.
Go ahead with your question or comment. First, give your name.
Oh, this is Miss Manners.
Hey, Miss Manners. Miss Manners, here's Jack Daniels, because I know y'all are about to have some conversation.
I want him to describe what is a real woman.
You want me to describe what a real woman is?
Yeah, what he considered a real woman.
Okay. I did a survey of 1,000 guys through surveys, through focus groups, and through personal interviews. And what we did is we came up with a consensus of what a real woman is. Real stood for an acronym, and it was REAL. Real, R being realistic about relationship expectations. Emotionally available, meaning that she's thrown her past in the trash. Aligned with vision, meaning that she's going to align with the guy's vision and he with hers, because you can't have two visions in a household. That means division. And then the last one is she's loyal, loving, and she won't demoralize, despise, or degrade herself and or our relationship. That's a real woman. That's all I get is okay.
That's all. Miss Manners be wide open on the chat line.
Shut her down.
I think she's intimidated. She intimidated by the phone line. Man.
So that's all you needed.
No, I was trying to understand what this was.
Well,
no,
what
that
was?
ain't all I needed. Okay, so he's talking about the men.
She's still listening to the computer. Yeah.
Don't listen to the computer.
Okay.
Listen on your phone.
Okay, the men thing. He said that the men in the... Okay, I'm turning it up. I'm turning it down. Okay, he talks about the men in the group of women. I think that there's challenges. I don't know if it's the game plan. And when I say game plan, the old model, if you will, is when men approach women. Why do men not just look at women as maybe a sister? Why do they always have to start off physically so that you won't make the wrong choice?
I think that's, I don't think that's all men. I think that's certain men. And in mate attraction, I kind of teach how that happens. I kind of teach what that conversation looks like and what to look for in that particular approach. Because when you're thinking about the approach and when you first meet someone or the first encounter and initiate or make that I think I call it the initiation process. When you think about that, there is a level of respect that comes along with talking to a woman. And if a guy is simply talking about sexual connotations or, you know, who you are and oh, I can do this to you and all, that's not the right guy. Because if he starts off with the physical, the way I teach it is that you should always start from the head down to the feet. And what that means is simply, you know, find out what's inside of his head. Find out what his visions are and what his passions are. Also find out, is he really listening to you or is he just listening to himself? And then find out what's in his heart. What does he really believe in the possibility of his future, his short-term, his long-term goals? And if he starts going anything below the belt with you in terms of his questions, that's not the guy for you. He's not interested in you. He's interested in the sex that you can get to him or that he can get from you. And if that's the guy that typically approaches you, I teach people how to transform their sexual energy profile, because sometimes if that's all that's coming to you, that's all the energy that you're putting out into the atmosphere, and that can be shifted. And I talk a lot about the freak, the friends, and the forever, and you have to be able to identify which one and which category that you're actually in and how to distinguish that particular energy that you're sending out.
Okay.
Man, but every chick think they the forever.
We ain't going there, Cliffs. That's true, but every girl does think that they're the forever.
Thanks for calling.
Thank you, Miss Manners, and definitely save the number when conversation is of interest, which I hope it is all the time. Then just make that call and get in on the conversation, and don't be nervous. When I was talking about what Facebook does, I have seen so many women who have gone through something with a man put these posts.
Lord,
crazy post.
I mean, I've been trying to go through some to find, but I can't operate as quickly as I would like. But I have just seen some of these posts.
Oh yeah.
That so many women put on Facebook.
Yeah.
Trying to make themselves, you know,
and
show that forget him, I'm stronger. You know, this is what you need to avoid. I mean, just a whole bunch of stuff to show a face like, you know, is this your response to something that you've dealt with in a relationship? So I don't really want to deal with you.
Right.
To me, that is a hurt.
It's been hurting us a lot. And in Mate Attraction, if you haven't done so yet, you can go to mateattraction.com, and it's free information that's there. I got a free video series that it'll be downloaded. It'll be sent to you immediately. All you do is put your name and your email address, mateattraction.com, and I talk a lot about social media and what it is that you're projecting to the world. So if I had it my way, and I really wanted to say to someone to figure out what it is that they're doing and what it is that they're representing. If I could do a psychological profile on your social media profile, just yours, no one else's, just you. And I talked a lot about what that looks like. All of your pictures, all of your posts, all of your, you know, the likes that you have, the people that you associate with, or the friends that you have. What is it that I would actually find? I mean, and, you know, there's a lot of people that say, well, you only do that for fun. Or, no, that's actually a part of who you really are. I mean, you're really projecting that to the world. You've been through that hurt or that bad relationship, and it's amazing to me that it's people that have a bad attitude on social media.
Oh my God!
And it's like,
I hate it. I mean,
it's
you
like,
know,
like how can you?
wake
That's
up
an oxymoron.
Yeah, like how can you have a
bad attitude on this? I wake up some mornings after, you know, a good morning clips.
Of sleep. I got you.
That good morning of sleep.
Yeah.
But I wake up on social media. I mean, a good morning, because I'm pretty much happy.
Yeah.
Once I vent about something, and usually they're the 2 ears that I vent to, I'm done with it.
Yeah.
It has gone, but it's very seldom. So I get on Facebook, and all I'm seeing is, you know, stand up and be this, and, you know, don't let nobody in. And it just takes that joy away.
And if it's the same person that's constantly venting and throwing that out, think about what signals that's sending to
But the
everyone
thing
else.
is, they're thinking that this is a help, and it's not a help.
It's only
Even if you're thinking
hurting.
you're writing something encouraging,
Yeah.
just the mere fact that you threw it out there
Yeah.
says that you pissed off about something.
Pissed off at the world.
And
Yeah.
I'm serious. And people think that it is some good stuff.
And guess what? Men see it. And we see that, and the only thing we see is a red flag that says issues.
Crazy.
Next.
Crazy.
Like, if I go out with her and it ain't right,
It's
going out there to everybody. and she might not call a name, but
you know who she's talking about. Because she used to date so-and-so or so-and-so, and you know they're not together anymore, and she's going through her own little personal style of healing or hurting. And the next phase of that, so we talked about hurting, we talked about healing, and the next phase of that is hoping.
this is relationship recovery.
Yeah,
The next phase
recovery. The next phase is hoping.
Hoping.
Hoping simply says that I'm hoping for something better. I'm exploring the possibility that I can do something better, and I hope that I'm in a phase that I can do what's necessary to be able to create the life that I really want to have. I've done the hurting, I've done the proper healing, and now I'm ready to be who it is that I'm supposed to be, and to be with who I'm supposed to be. And that's what Made Attraction is all about, teaching you to live more in that hoping phase of not just hoping, but actually transforming that hope into a realized possibility of something that is actually a partner. So it's not about attracting problems, it's about attracting partners. And I can't stress enough of how important this program is for some people, and it's totally anonymous. What am I? Anonymous.
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 That means I
We
can't
know what
come.
you're saying. We know what you're saying.
I can't come with my camera.
Right.
We know what you're saying.
It means, so, you know, I mean, even for the people who don't like the whole live approach, there's the online approach where it's live classes where, you know, it's going to be teleconferences, it's going to be video sessions, webinars, things that are going to actually help you understand you a little bit better, and they're going to take you through a process of healing properly so that you can be able to project the right things and the right energy to the right people so that you can attract them. And everything that you've been going through and all the same problems that you've been attracting are some things that are going to get dispelled and thrown away because you now understand that you deserve better. And everyone has a chance and an opportunity to do just that.
Here's a post from Coach Brandy.
Uh-oh.
If you have a problem with me, call me. If you don't have my number, that means you don't know me well enough to have a problem.
Well,
how attractive is she? If you saw that,
well, it sounds kind of direct. I mean, I don't know if it sounds like she's talking to somebody.
Yeah,
specific.
But if
or somebody else got on her nerves.
Exactly, but my whole thing of it is, but she's presented herself as this pretty direct chick.
Yeah.
If you're not interested in that kind of emotion,
I won't deal with it.
You won't deal with it.
And especially when, guess what? I have 1,800 friends, and my other friends have 5,000 friends and 4,000 friends. As a man, it's a playpen. So it's like, okay, she has issues. I'm going to go to the next one and see how lovely her life is. Mm-hmm. And look through all of her pictures and see what I can see. And you know, here's another thing, ladies. If you're not sure that the man is really attracted to you, don't give him your social media. Don't give him access to that. Because I may go through all of your pictures and see a friend who look a whole lot better. Now, it's awful, but it's very true. Mm-hmm. It's extremely. Men are visual, and if you are not in the space that says that he's totally into me, I wouldn't do it. Give him a chance to get to know you up close and personal. Make him call you. Don't allow him to text you. Don't allow him to email, inbox. Call you and date you. Take you out properly. If it's really somebody that you're dating on purpose. If it's just something that you're doing to be doing, you know, okay, I get it. Mm-hmm. And which some people, I get.
But you don't know if you're dating on purpose until you actually date.
And that's my point. Actually date, not speculate.
Yeah. Not
look at the entire profile and make a decision and an opinion like, I don't think I like her.
So run down number 3 for for relationship recovery again.
It is either you're hurting, you're healing, or you're hoping. And when you understand which one of those phases that you're in, you'll better understand how you can better attract some people into your life. But do yourself a favor and go through the entire process of either one that you're in. So if you're hurting, feel the pain, be there in that moment, understand the emotions, understand why you're hurt, understand some of the things that you did to attract that hurt and to be a part of that hurt as well. And then if you're healing, allow that bullet wound to heal properly. Take the bullet out, stop the bleeding, put a dressing on it. Don't put a Band-Aid over the bullet wound. And then when you're in the hoping phase, do some of the things that are necessary to position yourself a little bit better to have a chance and an opportunity to partner with someone who has some of the same interests as you, the same experiences, goals, attitudes, habits, and beliefs and expectations. But you have to do the work. And the Bible says that, you know, faith without works is dead. Right. I say faith without work don't work. So you got to get to work in doing some of the things that you know need to happen in your life. And don't rush into something when you're not ready for it. Right. Because the other person is going to suffer. They're going to be the culprit of your own insecurities and inability to deal with what it is that you're actually going through.
Right.
And you wind up looking like this. That's an inside joke for y'all that don't know.
I remember that.
For the rest of her life, if she doesn't change.
Poor baby. Yeah. And there's so many women that are like her because something happened and you didn't allow yourself the proper amount of time to heal or to deal with whatever that problem of your past was and that dilemma that you chose not to discuss. And you just got to wipe that away to be able to make room for someone else to enter into your life. And if you don't do that, you're just going to have constant mean mugs like her. It's like a permanent mean mug. And if you remember right,
and she looks like that all day, every day.
And if you remember, she shifted the entire energy of the room because energy is something that attracts or repels people from you. Mm-hmm. And that's what mate attraction is all about. Teaching you how to get rid of all of that
So you can attract some good
so
energy.
you can attract some good energy or some good man or good woman to you.
And then, please, if you go out in the packs of women, don't have that face in that pack.
No, she always there.
No, she's always there, right,
Yeah,
Cliff?
she's always there.
She's it's always
face
one in the
that pack
crowd.
will mess
Yeah, she
up the
always in
whole
the pack.
group because now
Nah.
everybody thinking everybody is the way she is.
No, that's just the one you don't pick.
She the one that know you picked and ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Right.
I'm ready to go.
I thought this was gonna be something else.
Yep. Yeah, she that one.
You hear that one? I thought this was gonna be something else. It's all right for me.
Mhm. Everybody else having a good time.
Everybody else having
Maybe you should leave.
Yeah.
That's why I said drive your own car.
That's right.
That's so true. Very true.
But thank Mr. Jack Daniels, relationship expert and author, for coming in on this Relationship Monday. Give it up for him and talk about the event that you have coming up, and if it's still space for others, give them that contact as well.
Absolutely. Go to madeattraction.com, and the first thing you'll do is get all of the free information and all of the free downloads to the videos and everything. But if you're really interested in doing something different, I want you to go to madeattraction.com/course. That's COURSE course / madeattraction.com/course / and it has the information that it takes to get involved with the 4-week online program that's coming out in April, and as well as the 3-day retreat that's happening in Atlanta, Georgia on June the 20th. It's going to be fantastic. So many people have already signed up. The only person that we're waiting on to sign up is you. And if you can't get to it, we made it economically feasible and affordable for everyone. Even payment plans that you can actually do that, as low as like a cup of coffee a day. So if you can't afford a cup of coffee a day, I don't know what you're doing. You know that this is something that you desire. It's something that you wake up every single day thinking about how you can be happier, how you can be healthier, and be in a loving, lasting relationship. Don't spend the next decade of your life wishing and trying to do something different. This is an opportunity for you to position yourself to have the love that you deserve and that you desire. MadeAttraction.com. I'm Jack Daniels, and hopefully I'll see you on the other side.
Thank you, Jack Daniels, and he will be at Passion and Poetry coming up on coming up on March 16th.
I'm scared.
When I start this show, this is I said I was going to give tickets away, and this is for people who are in the Atlanta area. Now, if you win tickets and you're not in the Atlanta area, and you know you're gonna come, then then definitely take the tickets. But if you are not in the Atlanta area and know you're not going to come, so don't try for the tickets. This is a simple question. I opened the show up with a particular song. The song is called I'm Blessed. Give me the artist of that song. Type it right now in. I'm close. You remember the grandmama backhand slaps? Give me the artist of that song. First person that type it right now, you get tickets to Passion and Poetry coming March 16th to Center Stage. First person that type it in the chat box, you get the tickets. Dang! I have her name on the tip of my tongue. Well, you better let it slide off. Let it slide off and drop it in here. Akina, whatever that name is. Akinaki? LOL. Clips, no. You sit right here.
I know who it is.
That gets your feelings hurt.
I was just
Clips.
playing. I know who it is.
It's a group that starts with a N.
No. Not at all. It's a one person.
I have said it
is
many of times when I've opened up the show. Yeah, they've been in it. The person or persons, I can't say. You can pay me for it. No, have been in the studio. But it's one of my favorite songs, and so if you can give me that person's name, then you win the tickets. We're gonna end Clay Evans. No, Ishi.
Ain't
No.
a woman singing?
We're gonna end with Fantasia, Lose to Win. We're gonna play the video out, and if you give me the right answer, I'll come back and give the tickets away. So go ahead with Video, Lose to Win. This our new one?
Yeah.
Oh, I like it.